Oh, Lord. I'm drinking some Kool-Aid, y'all. I'm drinking some Kool-Aid. Because the Cowboys, they talking my language. They talking my language. Let's get right into this. Be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content. But before we do, don't forget to check out All Odds on BetUS for all of your favorite sporting events, including the Super Bowl coming up. As you can see, the spread is even with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles facing off in the Super Bowl. Who are you going to put your money on? I don't know. That's none of my business. It's all you and BetUS's business. Be sure to use promo code YouTube150 when signing up for the first time to get 150% first time sign up bonus. And be sure to check out BetUS's all new casino and slots. They have a ton of different slot games for all of you high rollers out there to try out. So if that's your kind of thing, then go ahead and be sure to check it out with BetUS. Either way, let's get back to today's show because it's a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a report coming out of the Senior Bowl. And the reason I say this is coming out from the Senior Bowl is because everyone's out there right now. All the executives and reporters and different people like that are out there and they're all talking to each other. And you best believe there's some information getting floated. And y'all see the headline already. In fact, y'all are probably like, man, can you get to the story? My bad, y'all. CeeDee Lamb may be getting some help by way of a blue chipper this upcoming season. And I asked a question on the Cowboys Collective. I asked the panel, what was the actual last first round skill position player we drafted that was a miss? When was the last time we actually missed on one? And I think we got an answer. It was like 1996 or something like that, or 97 or something like that. 30 years ago was the last time the Cowboys missed on drafting a first round blue chip offensive weapon. That's all I gotta say before we get into this article. So apparently the Dallas Cowboys and one of the executives out there are telling some of the reporters some information, and there are some people in the community that actually trust that have said that they believe this report, I guess based off of conversations they have had with people as well. But either way, after the hiring of Brian Schottenheimer, there's been a lot of talk as to what the Dallas Cowboys will do in the offseason and during the draft. I'm told the team will look for a receiver during the first 2 rounds of the draft to pair with CeeDee Lamb, who they signed to a massive contract extension last August. Aging veteran Brandon Cooks will be a free agent come March, and the team has no true number 2 receiver. They will also look for help in the defensive front 7 during the draft, specifically to stop the run. Deion Walker, Derek Harmon, I'm looking at one of you guys. Dallas was the 4th worst rushing defense in the league last season, surrendering 2,300 yards. Mozzie Smith, the team's 2023 first-round pick, has been a disappointment, and veteran middle linebacker Eric Kendricks is a free agent. Dallas also wants to re-sign center Brock Hoffman, yet they are debating how much to pay him. Hoffman is a restricted free agent coming off of this terrific 2024 season, meaning he can't really test the market despite the fact that teams other than the Cowboys are interested in him. Scenarios include Dallas placing a tender on him, which would guarantee his pay for at least 1 year, or allow him to negotiate a deal that the Cowboys could then match. Of course, signing him to a multi-year deal is also an option. Finally, Dallas will likely look for a new offensive line coach, as they are not happy with the development of the unit. There's a possibility they bring in a new offensive line coach to work with or replace Mike Solari. Completely replace. Out the old, in with the new. Y'all can't have me over here sipping on this Kool-Aid, raising up my sugar levels, and y'all ain't getting rid of the big sources of some of these problems with this team, man. I'm about to put this Kool-Aid down if Mike Solari's still on this damn coaching staff. I'm telling you that right now. But nonetheless, very, very exciting report right there. We got some very, very interesting news out of that report. In addition to this news, we also got news that Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones are in fact going to try to prioritize getting Osa Odighizuwa back in Dallas, so that's actually very interesting. As you can see, according to reports by Jory Epstein, the Cowboys view it as a, quote, priority to re-sign defensive tackle Osa Odighizuwa, and we'll look into it this offseason. And I think that one of the biggest indicators of whether or not this team is really going to handle business in a different fashion this offseason is if we see Micah Parsons' contract actually get done rather quickly, especially since we know Micah wants to get it done, and according to him, he's willing to take less than the absolute maximum, so it shouldn't be really a problem in getting his contract done. If we actually see his contract get signed pretty early, and we see them actually make some preliminary moves before the start of free agency, then ladies and gentlemen, we may be in for a very interesting offseason, and things could actually be different. But outside of this news with our free agent news, and I mean, there's a lot going on with the Cowboys right now. I'm absolutely tired, but it's worth it, because damn it, I want to be excited about my team. I'm sorry. I know y'all want us to be pessimistic. I know y'all want us to look at this from more of a glass half empty type of standpoint. But look, y'all, I tried it that way all last season. I tried it that way of being overly emotional, putting too much stock into the weight of the last 30 years, putting too much stock into not trusting anything going on with the team, or not even being able to enjoy anything happening with the team because I'm so stuck on what happened in the past, bro. I just want to enjoy rooting for the team that I've made a conscious decision of, even though we fail and they disappoint me year after year. I just want to enjoy rooting for my team. So at the end of the day, rooting for them and having some hope for the season and looking for hope for the season is way more fun than trying to root for them and look for all the reasons why the season is going to blow up and go to shit. I'm just saying, bro. So I'm making a conscious decision, even knowing all the information that all of you guys know. I'm making a conscious decision. I think a lot of us fans that are just tired of talking about the last 30 years are all making a conscious decision, bro. Let's live in the present and prepare ourselves for the next generation of Cowboys history, bro. Even if the next generation of the history looks a lot similar than what the last 30 years has looked like, bro, still, at least you had a damn good time, right? I mean, damn, bro, we here for a good time, not a long time. But look, how can the Cowboys end up pairing a receiver with CeeDee Lamb, and who could it actually possibly be? Realistically, if they said the first 2 rounds, that means that they do have their eye on something else, at least in that first round. And according to Daniel Jeremiah, it's pretty obvious what they should have their eye on, and I agree with this wholeheartedly. Ashton Jeanty, and I know people have some concerns that he may not fall to the Cowboys because the 49ers may take a running back, or the Bears may take a running back. But I'm going to tell you guys, the 49ers have one of the worst offensive lines in the league now. They need an offensive lineman. They're more than likely are going to take an offensive lineman, whether it's this exact guy. They need one. They probably will take an offensive lineman more than anything. The Bears, they need to protect their quarterback that they just drafted because he was under duress all last season. And Ben Johnson, yes, he loves his running backs, but remember what Detroit built that team off of first. They drafted their linemen first and then got the running backs towards the end of that thing, and that's when it really took off. They got a lot of those linemen in place first, the Frank Ragnows and some of those other guys. So the Bears likely probably going to end up taking an offensive lineman as well. All the rest of these teams, man, I really don't see a team that's a threat to taking Ashton Jeanty before 12. I mean, if you look at the way this lines up, the Titans, they're not going to take a running back. They're paying Tony Pollard on a brand new, fresh, shiny contract. You got the number 1 pick. No way you blow that on a Jeanty, right? And I ain't trying to put you down, Jeanty, but I need you to drop to 12, man. Then when you got the Cleveland Browns, New York Giants, got them taking a guy like a Cam Ward, and then the Raiders down here going to take a Shedeur Sanders. So there's at least 3 teams that are more than likely going to take quarterbacks. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Cleveland ends up taking a damn quarterback. The New England Patriots, they're absolutely going to take one of the best offensive linemen to protect their now, quote unquote, Stephen Jones bunny ears, Pro Bowl quarterback. They're absolutely going to take an offensive lineman. If Mike Vrabel is there, they're going to build that team the right way from the trenches. Jacksonville Jaguars, ain't no telling what they're going to do because that organization is insane. And Liam Cohen is now the coach there, and he may want to get more offensive pieces, but they have running backs, so they may not take a running back this early. I doubt it. Again, the Jets, not going to take a running back. They have a whole slew of them. Panthers, absolutely makes sense for them to take a Tedoroya McMillan, but if they didn't take a Tedoroya, and they did actually draft a guy like a Ashton Jeanty, that means a Tedoroya is going to drop. And I don't know if the Saints would draft a guy like that because they don't have a quarterback yet. So it doesn't make drafting a receiver right now. And the Bears already have a full load of receivers. So he could end up dropping to us. If Jeanty doesn't drop to that 12th pick, Tedoroya could easily end up dropping to us without the Panthers picking him. If the Panthers don't pick him, there's a huge possibility he could drop to us. I'm just saying, right? So that's how Ashton Jeanty could make it to the Cowboys. There's really only 1 or 2 teams that's really a real threat to take a Jeanty, and that is maybe the Bears. But again, I think Ben Johnson's going to lean offensive line. And as far as the receivers we could possibly find in that second round, if it ends up falling that way, then you're looking at guys like the Oregon receivers, Tez Johnson and an Evan Stewart. You're looking at guys like an Isaiah Bond. You're looking at guys like a Jalen Royals or a Jaden Higgins or a Jalen Noel. You're looking at some of those guys. Those are very, very, very quality names, man. Xavier Restrepo. You're looking at those type of guys once you start talking about looking at receivers that you can take in the second round, maybe even creeping into the third just a little bit. But if we end up with any of those type of receivers and we get Jeanty in the first round, this Kool-Aid? And we still same old Cowboys.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.